Hi guys, so the low carb, zero carb approach has become increasingly trendy and popular these days. Now whether that's simply the low carb diet, Atkins diet, Dukan diet or Keto diet, they all simply advocate that you reduce your carbohydrate intake to a bare minimum. Now I'm pretty sure a lot of you have probably already tried a version of one of these diets or are maybe even considering it. Guys, I'm here to beg you here now not to do so. Now, I've used the principle many times in my life to get myself into top physical appearance. And you know, it certainly helps a younger man because there's no doubt that a low-carb diet, keto diet, will produce quick weight loss. Now, this is due to three main reasons. Now, one, yes, with the presence of less glucose in our bloodstream from eating carbs, our body is possibly more receptive to tapping into our fat cells for use as fuel. Two, by simply eliminating a main food source, and one which is eaten in abundance by most overweight people these days, we naturally eat less calories. Now, by eating no carbs, you will naturally not eat bread, you will not eat sweets, you will not eat dessert, you will not eat crisps, etc. But you shouldn't eat anyway, and you know that with any kind of common sense. So by not eating these foods, you will naturally, obviously, help lose you more weight. Number three, every gram of carbohydrate that we store in our body actually stores with it 2 grams of water. And so therefore, by not storing as many carbohydrates in your body, you will not store as much cellular fluid in the body either. Now, guys, this is going to result in water weight loss, not fat loss, this is water loss. Now, these three factors will bring people quick success in weight loss. However, this weight will return, and in my experience, with much more added weight gain to go with it too. This diet will also make you, as a man over 40, ultimately store more fat. It will decrease your metabolism, it will further destroy your male hormones, it will make you much more of a fat burning machine in the future, not looking good or feeling as good. I can not only provide you a huge amount of research papers to justify this and provide anecdotal stories of many personal clients that I've worked with and have suffered these issues, I lay testimony myself to this fact from personal experience. Now, I can tell you that every time I have followed this approach in my later years, that it's ultimately had a detrimental effect on me, on my body, and how I felt. And it's resulted always in increased weight gain afterwards. My most recent, and trust me, my final experience of using this approach to get into top shape in the last few years resulted in me gaining 1.5 stone in the following 3 to 4 months afterwards and left me feeling drained and exhausted for a good long while. But even more telling than that fact was the fact that I continued to assess my bloods and my hormones throughout that experience, and I can tell you that all of those necessary male anabolic hormones that we need to look for and have optimally performing to perform well and look good dropped like a bomb, and all the inflammation markers within my body steadily rose. Now, for many reasons which I'll list, I was turning myself ultimately into a fat storing machine. Now, number one, without the presence of carbohydrates, it's much more difficult to maintain or build lean muscle tissue. Therefore, you will lose some of the very necessary lean muscle tissue that you have. That's not good. Number two, in our 40s, we already have a declining male hormone system. Now, this is medical fact from the age of 35 onwards. And for optimum male hormone production, we need carbohydrates present. Remove them, and we are placing an even greater strain on our already depleting hormonal system. Therefore, less testosterone equals less muscle tissue, more fat gain, slower metabolism, and just a less than optimal life. Number three, removing carbohydrates from our diet elevates the stress hormone cortisol. Now, in our 40s and beyond, we're already much more likely to have chronically elevated levels of cortisol due to the ongoing stresses of life that we have suffered for over the last 40, 50 years. Now, chronically elevated cortisol levels mean that your testosterone levels will drop even further, and you will store fat much more readily around those hormonal areas such as that lower chest man-boob area and that lower stomach area. Now, our bodies, also number four, our bodies are no longer as an effective machine as they were in our 20s and our 30s. We don't process and digest foods anywhere near as well. And you'll probably see these signs highlighted. Maybe you suffer more bloating, maybe more gas, more acid reflux. And certain foods that you used to enjoy eating when you were younger now just affect you even more. If in our 40s we now remove a vital food source from our body for a prolonged period of time, as you would on a zero-carb diet, your body will ultimately become less effective at processing this food. And all the chemicals and enzymes that are needed to break down these foods will ultimately disappear, and our older, struggling bodies will no longer be able to produce them as rapidly and as effectively anymore. Therefore, when you do have to break your zero-carb diet, your body has now lost even more so the ability to break down and process these carbs and use it for energy. So what does your body do with it? Well, I can tell you what it does. It's going to now store it as fat much more readily. Not good. But fifth and final, let's face it, it's impractical and virtually impossible, and you shouldn't actually want to be carb-free forevermore. So after a long period of denial, when you do finally put those carbohydrates back into your body, you're going to store them more readily as fat. B, the water weight loss that you got rid of will now come rushing back on. 3, your metabolism and your hormones are now going to be lowered and depleted. You're going to be a much more efficient weight gaining and fat storing machine, and less healthy too, all because you denied yourself of carbohydrates for too long. Guys, carbohydrates are an essential nutrient. We need them for energy, hormones, and for living optimally. Guys, you just need to eat the correct amount of the correct carbohydrates at the right times, and you will be able to reap their rewards. Please guys, if you want to look good and feel good in your 40s and beyond, do not go keto for quick success, because that quick success will ultimately make you look and feel worse. If you want to follow the correct nutritional plans for you as a man over 40, then let me coach you on one of my transformation plans. But guys, if you don't want to do that, then please simply just do yourself a massive favour and just stop eating bread, eating cakes, eating crisps and sweets, and stop eliminating essential carbs from your diet, and stop following gimmick diets like Keto and Atkins. Please guys, just be sensible. No to keto.